afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. Allen, for that brief introduction. Distinguished panelists, very important guest of honor here today. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, lovers of freedom from all over the world, my kids and kings from Biafra land here present today, honorable members of the Organization for Biafra Freedom, ladies and gentlemen who were not captured by the above, welcome to this conference. It is an international conference because whatever happens in Washington, D.C. happens in the world. Our people say that the tooth does not run in the afternoon unless something is after its life. Wise men of the past have also told us that the future is now, and that we should not ignore the fierce urgency of now. Let's do some fact-checking and ask some questions. There is a world order that keeps nations in check. We have United Nations that is supposed to protect vulnerable nations and indigenous people. Nations don't just do whatever they like. We have checks and balances with the superpowers and the world powers in charge. We all agree that human lives matter. We also say that Black lives matter, but not just in the United States, but also in Nigeria. The world has gone beyond that level. We now worry about animal cruelty, tree falling, in respect for life. But we agree that human life is sacrosanct. The world order does not tolerate genocide and terrorism. Not in the West, not in the Middle East, everywhere in the world. But why is it hard to get attention of the world to the atrocities happening in Nigeria? You keep asking, why? Our questions go on and on because we've been asking these questions since 1966, when a small part of Nigeria were besieged by Russia, Soviet Union then, and the West. A very unholy marriage. They normally don't come together. Why did they unite against the little Biafra and starved us for 3 years? Sometimes some of our people think the only thing we have that is very serious in the world is anti-Semitism. But I call that anti-egotism because it's been happening. Why would a country like Nigeria openly, brazenly, and glaringly move from democracy to fascism and totalitarianism? And there is no serious word of condemnation from any nation, not even from our own African countries. The OAU have been having meetings over this time, not even a word of condemnation. Why is the Nigerian government bombing civilian targets repeatedly, killing and maiming people? with weapons supplied by the United States of America. And they continue to give them more and more warplanes. Every now and then they are getting their ammunition from here. Why? Why is it that the United States can fight ISIS in the West and in the Middle East, but when they relocate to West Africa, they are nonchalant? The question again is why? Why are there 3 terrorist organizations operating in Nigeria, killing Christians and indigenous communities, and there is no world outcry to the situation? I thought the world bothered about genocide, impending or active, mass killings, ethnic cleansing, extrajudicial killings, state-sponsored terrorism, absence of freedom of speech, absence of freedom of religion, and rule of law. They have always worried about corruption in Nigeria, calling us one of the worst corrupt countries in the world. But when it came to this situation where the entire funds are looted, they say nothing about it. They don't even condemn it. And there are still interactions between Nigeria and United States and Britain. They see nothing about the entire situation at all. Is the West is an accomplice in the matter? And if so, why? Be that as it may, we can leave that for another day. But right now, I believe it's time for the world to act. We are here today to draw the attention of the international community on the carnage, mayhem going on in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, unabated. Sometimes they could cool down when they think it's heating up, that the world is getting to know. But when you look away, they start over and over again. This action became necessary because of the stunning silence of the members of the international community, despite the daily increase in the number of victims of anarchy and lawlessness going on in Nigeria. Governments all over the world have their primary responsibility to protect lives and property, as well as maintain law and order in the areas of territorial jurisdiction. A government that cannot perform this basic function or colludes with terrorists should be subject to serious scrutiny and sanctions. The carnage going on in Nigeria is a joint effort of Nigerian military and several other non-state actors, including ISIS, that escaped from the onslaught of the West in the Middle East, Boko Haram, that is well known, operating in Nigeria for the past 12 years, Fulani headsmen, classified as one of the most dangerous terrorist organizations in the world, and is from the same ethnic group with our president, and we believe he has links to them and to whatever they are doing. There are other Islamic terrorist groups operating in Nigeria, coming up with different names to evade the radar. Sometimes they are bandits, other times they are gunmen, sometimes unknown, and sometimes unknown. They are all having field day in our country, forsaken by our leaders and the civilized world. We are very troubled and worried because the Holocaust about to take place is monumental. It will be a child's play compared to Kosovo and Rwanda. We have not forgotten how former American President Bill Clinton had to bomb Kosovo to stop the genocide going on in that country. We still remember the regrets of many leaders for acting too late to stop the genocide in Rwanda. Not quite long ago, the US and European nations, including Russia, were proactive in dealing with the genocidal incursion of ISIS in the Middle East. It's against this backdrop that we are finding it difficult to understand the continued silence of civilized world over the carnage and genocide going on daily in Nigeria. Why is the world watching these terrorist groups have a field day in Nigeria? We keep asking. Given the reluctance and collusion of the federal military government of Nigeria under the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari. Daily, men and women and children are abducted, killed by these terrorist groups in churches, in schools, in their numbers. In many cases, ransoms are demanded, and if not paid, they are murdered in cold blood. There is total lack of respect for human life and human rights. Communities are ravaged at night, slaughtering men and women and children, burning down homes with children in them. I'm surprised that one particular picture that is going around with a man carrying the little baby that is born is not on this. Yes, from this. Then we ask, why is the world silent? Why is nobody holding the government of Nigeria accountable for these crimes? Why is the United States saying nothing to this? We wait endlessly while the federal government of Muhammadu Buhari is using the military to suppress freedom of speech and information and unleashing mayhem on particular ethnic groups agitating for their right for self-determination, and that is the Igbos. Today, we call on all civilized world, particularly the United States, Western European countries, and the United Nations to, as a matter of urgency, intervene to stop the genocide going on in Nigeria. Silence is no longer an option. The time to act is now. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, the time to act is now. Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. Thank you so much.